Hey, welcome to a commentary for a very special episode of Death Battle, Zuko vs. Todoroki. Hey, I'm Ben, voice of Wiz. I'm joined by voice of Boomstick. Hello, Chad.
Hey, that's me.
That's you. Then we also got Luis. He animated this episode, right, Luis?
I directed the animation and also animated it.
Yeah. And then we got Genevieve, the writer.
Heck yeah, that's me. I did the words.
Look at that,
That's
coming
you.
in with that excitement.
Yeah. So we've been wanting to do this episode for ages. I don't know. I think we kind of wanted to do it. It's been moved around a bit, right? Like it was originally going to air, I think, at the beginning of the year.
Heck, it was even moved around, like even at the end of the, like right before we aired this episode, basically. Like.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit before.
But Genevieve, I think we started writing it last year, right?
Or at least I was like assigned it, and then we had sort of thought about setting up a meeting, and then everyone was like, "No, never mind, it's next year instead." And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
but I wanted to write about my hot anime boys."
If I recall, we
that's
ended up.
Genevieve's #1 priority in Death Battle. No, sorry. First it's puns, then it's writing about her hot anime boys.
Okay, well, actually, second, it's Lucy from Elfin Lied, Always and Forever.
Oh,
then it's
yes,
anime
that's
boys.
True. That's true.
That sounds about right. Yeah. So why did you? Because every time we start a new season, I send the matchups that we're going to be working on to the writers so they can kind of pick out which episodes they're interested in. Genevieve, why did this one stand out to you?
So I have always loved Zuko, of course, because I kind of grew up with Avatar, and you know, every little girl has their anime crushes when they're watching things growing up.
Every little girl. What
Well,
about
every little
boy?
every little whiz. Spoiler alert.
Every whiz has a crush.
Okay, so I got a question then. Is
Yeah.
it pre is it like that version of Zuko that's on screen right now, or is it after he like let go of his hair and stuff?
Oh
Like
no,
when did
it's
it start?
always shaggy hair emo Zuko.
Okay, there
Like
it
the
is.
shaggy hair is the prime Zuko.
So when that happened, you were like, oh my god.
That one, that hair. Oh yes.
It's
There.
also when he's 17, so it's totally okay.
Guys, take note.
I was a child when I was first watching Avatar. I was like younger.
Every time you say that, Ben and I age a little more, so thank you.
Every time I say that I'm
You're welcome.
21, you guys feel a hangover.
Yeah.
I'm just here to steal it more from you so I can retain this age.
Wonderful.
So what you're saying, Jen, is that you were in it just for Zuko.
Oh, well, so okay. I knew less about Todoroki, but I had also learned about Todoroki through the All Might versus Might Guy death battle that we did. That I had also written. Shout out to me. But no, I learned more about the entire My Hero Academia universe through that episode, and I was like, wait, this Todoroki kid, he reminds me of a man from my youth. So of course I saw the connection there and was like, yeah, I like this boy.
I love it. Oh my god.
Listen, every time you have me on, I'm gonna be horny about some character.
Great.
Excellent. Well, we'll bring you on more often then, I guess. I don't know. And
Genevieve,
then-
always horny. Great. Perfect. We'll somehow work that into your
soundbite, no.
title. No, I think that's an HR violation. Never mind.
Oh no.
That's so hilarious. Oh my god.
Okay.
How do we get
Man,
out of this
now I'm
topic?
so totally thrown off. What are we talking about for
Yeah,
that?
we're talking about
why I like
Zuko.
Todoroki, yeah.
Okay. One of the things I really wanted to emphasize with this script in particular is trying to come up with an answer, to the death battle as usual, without relying too much on numbers. I felt like this would be a good one to kind of. I feel like there are some past episodes that have just been throwing big numbers out there over and over and over. It's just like at a certain point, it's like, what do the numbers mean,
Yeah,
right?
when we got
Like,
to foe, even I was confused. I was like, what is a foe? I don't like it.
there's a certain balance we have to strike between like being as scientifically accurate and informational as possible, and making sure that everybody watching understands what we're talking about. And finding that balance is always different depending on the matchup, right? So obviously for like a Dragon Ball episode like Beerus vs. Galaxia, we're gonna throw out those gigantic ass numbers because they're kind of important. But for two kids who are shooting fire at each other, it's like, all right, if they get hit by fire, they get burned. We know that. Do we really have to find out how much like of a mountain they could melt? Because they're gonna be able to melt each other, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
So we could focus more on like the logic of the fight, on the specific moves that they have, their speed, things like that. That was definitely a big emphasis that I wanted to push for this matchup in particular.
Yep. Well, also, I noticed that we really wanted to push hard in this episode was Boomstick's daddy issues, since both the characters also have daddy issues.
Naturally.
There were actually, I think there were more daddy issues that had since been cut. Probably for time and emotional, sanity for poor Boomstick. I went a little bit too hard with like sad dad shit.
Oh yeah, you went
If
really
I
ham.
recall, you were surprisingly modest about it with your first draft. And then we were talking about it, and I was like, it's been a while since we've had a script that really dived into Boomstick's issues. And then in your next draft, you just had a shit ton of them.
Yeah, because I think I was like, I'll put a couple things in here and there, like Boomstick's daddy issues or Wiz's huge crush on Zuko.
That was the other thing. Yeah, Ben told me about that right as we went. He's like, okay, so heads up.
No, I wanted to be a surprise.
Well,
But
I mean, I
yeah.
think we got to
I
like
didn't
one
give you
line.
a heads up, but yeah.
Yeah, I think we got to one line, and then that's when Ben's like, "Oh, okay, yeah." So just so you know, Genevieve's doing this thing where Wiz is just fanboying.
I
That was,
honestly had so much fun with it.
Yeah, we were, as we were going through the writing, we were like, okay, we really got to capture that feeling, right? Of like Zuko and Todoroki. What do people feel when they think of those characters? Everybody's got a crush on Zuko, man.
I think I put like one or two lines in that sort of hinted at Wiz having a crush, and then Ben was like, "Oh, we can lean into this. I'm okay with that." And I was like, "Oh, good. You've opened the floodgates.
Yeah,
You
right.
opened the gates.
Yes,
You've opened the
absolutely.
8th gate."
8th gate. Yeah, there it is.
Oh no!
There's
that
no
mean
coming
I'm gonna
back
die?
from this now, Ben.
I'm just turned to ash.
Oh
I
god.
need
it's always
Naruto
fun.
to run in and revive this episode.
Yeah, I need Ninja Jesus to save me, apparently. Oh god, that could go so many different ways. Let's back
it
up,
could.
back up.
Ninja Jesus because of your anime crushes.
Oh no.
He's got the power of God and anime on his side.
Oh god. Oh god.
No,
So
one thing that always impresses me about this writing team that we've like continued to like bolster, and now we have so many people writing for the show, is when Genevieve, I improv a lot when
Yeah.
we're voicing. But there's so many times, and I remember in this script too, like when we're getting there, I always love it when like I'll finish a line and then I will just say something for the next one that I think is improv. And there are times where like I will have said something and I look down, I'm like, it's like almost word for word. Of,
Video on the
like,
script.
Oh, I'm
yeah,
so
no,
happy.
absolutely. You can ask Ben. Like I do that. That happens quite often. Or he's like, actually, we're gonna get to that in like two more lines down or something, and I'm like, perfect.
I
Like, so
finally
it's
got
always,
into your head.
yeah, exactly. No, it's just awesome to see like this is this character I've been voicing for like a million years, and the fact that it just really shows that the effort you guys put in, and you really understand the characters and do a great job.
Thank you.
yeah, that is something worth noting. We've talked about in the past, like how a lot of the lore or whatever of death metal comes from us improving in the booth. That's more so true of like early death battle. We still do some improv stuff in the booth.
I still
but
do a lot.
Yeah, we still do quite a bit, but it's not like the writers are just giving us an outline and we just go.
Right.
Like Jen and Liam and Lousy, they're all and Josh and Ultra, they're all giving us a very complete script, and that is what 99% of each episode is based around, right? It's possible that some people might have heard us talk about the improv stuff and thought differently, but that's absolutely not the case.
I mean, I put so much effort into those puns, man.
I know you do.
Exactly.
Oh, I know you do. And that's the other thing too. Is like Ben and I could be voicing a script, and I'll get to like one, like just one specific line, and I go, "This is Genevieve's script." Like, or other times.
Every one of the writers has their own little
Sam
niche,
too.
I think.
Yeah. And I'm getting Liam pretty good now too. Lousy.
Liam's always got one word in there that you've just never heard of before.
Yeah.
Once he gets that word, you're like. Also, for some reason, he really likes including jokes about piss.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know why, but it just kind of seems to happen.
Oh my god.
Oh god, we're just revealing all the secrets this episode.
Yeah, and on the other show, I always do appreciate the writers dealing with when we do improv or change lines, because I'm probably the worst about that. So, and I know you guys.
It is a very malleable show, and for sure, like it changes all the time. Especially like if we finish a script like months ahead of when we're actually recording, and then like the day of or day after recording, the researcher's like, "Oh shit, something else came out. We got to change this line." It's just things we always have to be thinking of. Yeah. Luis, the animation is here.
Oh yeah.
That art.
Talk about it.
Oh man, like what's so cool about this one is that actually we have a new sprite artist that joined the team for this specific fight, and it's like actually like her name is Rose, and she's Jerky's fiance.
Oh really?
Yeah. So like, basically Jerky was like pretty stumped on some work and stuff, and he was like, hey, can we get someone else to help out? And we were like, yeah, sure. And when he got her his fiance, and oh my god, she is amazing. Like, and she's like hasn't done it for that long as well. So like, it's pretty cool that she can get to that same level as Jerky in terms of like making like really high detailed sprites. So that was really cool. And,
do you want to mess with them? Should we mess with them and be like, dude, she's just so good. Like we're gonna be using her.
Yeah.
And just see
like, but I'm good too, right?
I also love that this episode is full of just like vague romance, like Jerky's fiance, Wiz, and Zuko.
Yeah.
No.
I love this bit. So
the
much.
melon cart.
The cabbage cart.
Cabbage. I do
Cabbage
that every
cart.
time.
Chad.
It's the second time I've done that.
Avatar card revoked. Jeez.
I've told you that I still need to watch the show. I've been trying to get Kira to get into it so we can watch it together. Yeah.
Well, it's on Netflix now.
I said
this worked out so well.
Every time I see it, I'm like, it's a melon cart. And then I'm like, wait, no, it's every time I finish saying melon cart, and then I go, that was wrong, and I go to say cabbage, but everyone's already jumping on me.
Avatar, for the longest time, Avatar was difficult to find a good like copy of. The DVD that was out was like really shitty quality.
Yeah.
They just recently released a Blu-ray. They just recently put it on Netflix. There's no excuse to not watch it anymore.
I know. I'm trying to get Kira into it. She just hasn't been about it. She's don't get me started. She's in this whole phase about she's all about live action shows and cartoons and for kids, and I'm like, I know they're not. Anyway,
it's crazy how.
Well, you got another kid coming up eventually,
these
so you'll with this kind of show, so it'll be
good.
fine.
Wait, another kid.
All right, Logan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, God, no. There's not a third on the way.
Oh no,
I'm stressed out
coming
enough.
up on that age. Anyway, Luis, animation is beautiful, man.
It's so good.
Yeah, it was one of those fights that we were really looking forward to making, and like when we started and like having all the assets together, and we started animating the fight, we were like, wow, this one's gonna really be special. And it really turned out to be like one of those fights that we like the whole team is really proud of, and like we were like kind of like gushing at each other's like shots and like how we were like progressing throughout the fight. So I hope that everyone really likes it, especially like those added hand drum bits, because like I guess we really like the matchup a whole lot, and we really wanted to like put a little bit more effort into those like special scenes and stuff, and like really shine the characters and stuff.
So you're saying you went beyond?
I guess so. Thank you, Genevieve.
That's what she's here for. It's a little taste of those script meetings that we have.
How many puns go away from?
Oh,
with
okay,
each meeting?
this is enough. You guys know how much I appreciate puns. Like, there are some times where I'm like, this is too many. Like, and I pull like a couple out.
Hold on.
Well, okay.
But especially the final puns, I'm really bad about changing them. Or at least I was in the past. The one I know I'm extra sensitive, which is Genevieve's script if it's for the final pun, and I know because she puts her whole heart into it. I think I changed it once, and you were like, "I'm really sad." I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
Well, I was gonna
still
note.
an intern too. I was like,
Yeah.
Chad, why did you change my pun? And you're like, even though I was the intern, you're like, I can never do this again.
Yeah.
Did you
Well, I
have
was gonna
nightmares
note,
about that
like-
pun being bad?
we used to make it your thing to come up with the pun, right?
Every time on the fly, yeah.
And that I don't think you've come up with the pun
I've done a
in
couple.
like over a year or so.
There may be like one or two that I like changed or improv an extra one or something, but yeah, no. It's,
For the most part, what
we've
ends
come
up
a long
happening-
way from
Like
the
Jenny's
days
one?
of pun here, which is just what it would
Exactly.
say.
But for the what happens more often now, and this happens with Genevieve most of all, is we'll just have like a giant list of them at the end of the script,
Yeah.
and then we'll just kind of pick one or try to like mix them all together in some weird way.
Yeah.
That's what we'll tend to do now. Is just like overdo the pun as much as possible, which I love.
Puns. I love puns. I also Wiz being sad at the end of this episode was my mood.
I mean, everybody's got a crush on Zuko.
My
so,
husbando died.
hopefully when this episode comes out, people are okay with that. But hey, if you're not, Aang won his fight. Spoilers, so you can go watch that. Have a good time. All right, thank you so much for watching this.
And thanks
Chad,
for being
Luis,
first members.
Genevieve, thanks for being part of this. Next
I'm
episode,
obligated to be
we've
here.
got.
I'm just kidding. Nothing. Go ahead. I'm just messing with you.
Next episode, we have Battle of the Speedsters. Like the super fucking speedsters. It's crazy. It is going to be nuts. Archie Sonic versus Wally West. The fastest Sonic versus the fastest Flash. Really excited for you guys to see it. All right. We'll see
Thanks,
you in the next
everybody.
episode.
See ya.
Thank you.